brings me to my sort of second point. We really need to focus on allyship and building allyship across other oppressed categories in the U.S. and globally, because I think when you build those coalitions is when you can learn from each other, like building coalitions with the Black movement here, with the LGBTQ movement here, with other oppressed group movements across the globe. That is really key for us. And I think that's the role that I see going forward, you know? This AIC event and unveiling of the statue and building of the center is going to be a way for us to center our activities geographically and be a focal point, which we can then use to leverage our community and really do the hard work and the work that we need to do to bring others from our families, our extended families, our broader, you know, community out of poverty back in India. And so that brings me to my research, what I've done in my research. I basically went to villages and I made sure that they were at least 30, 40 kilometers outside of major cities. And that is where the real caste issue problems are. The real struggle is there. And they sometimes don't even have anyone to reach out to. So I think that's where we need to go. That's like the next step. Once we build a strong community here, we need to reach out to those far-flung areas, the rural areas, where people are facing the real upfront, in-your-face, sit-on-the-ground type of oppression. And I think that's the next step for us. We need to be able to reach there.
Yeah, thank you, Saraswati. That's exactly how many of us have seen those realities in India and made it to here. So we are here better understanding to what is going on in India, and actually what you just said. But when you work in a movement, Saraswati made a very interesting point that, you know, what I really like and I want to emphasize upon, that movement is all about trust building. See, all of you came here, many of you have not even communicated with AIC or any, but you are here because there is a trust that you are all going to meet and get benefited and will meet all other fellows. So there is a strong trust building that all our organizations are doing. And whenever there is a breach of that trust, then movements fall apart. And that's also part of the movement. But trust building is one of the things. That trust building is part of the community building. That's how community are built. Now, I want to shift attention a little bit to Malini, who has been doing a very conceptual work around the idea of capitalism and now linking it with caste. And not only that, she's been an activist who has been protesting, and I met her actually recently in Washington, D.C. when we were protesting recently on something. Okay. So Malini, I wanted to just link it, or how is your work linking or addressing the issues of caste, because, you know, when you study India, you can't actually think of not talking about caste because it's a part of the structure. So how your scholarship address the issues of caste?
Thank you so much, Gaurav-ji. Jai Bhim, everyone. Jai Pure, Jai Periyar, Cool Johar. It's so wonderful to be with all of you today, and thank you so much to the Ambedkar International Center for organizing. So to answer Gaurav's question, what I'm interested in doing is really bringing together analyses of caste and race, and to try to learn what can we draw from both the anti-caste tradition, the critical caste studies, as well as critical race studies, to really analyze how these hierarchies are produced, even in the so-called modern world. So my research is based in urban India, particularly in Bangalore, and looking at how caste organizes, especially through land markets, and how activists there, Dalit activists working with other kinds of labor, sanitation worker activists, are fighting land grabs in a context of rapid urbanism, of rapid capital flows, of increased inequality, especially to do with land and housing. But bringing that now to bear on the global Ambedkar movement, as as was just said, I think the beauty of the Ambedkar movement is that it adapts to try to build empathy and solidarity with the struggles of the people where the movement is happening. So, for instance, in California, as you might have read in the news, and this is where analyses of caste and race are so interesting and they really shed new light. You have Sikh Punjabi farmers coming together with Mexican workers using the framework of casta and caste to understand shared forms of oppression across race and caste. And to me, we must pay attention to these kinds of solidarities, the deployments of language across various contexts to further bring out the Ambedkar movement. And I think the trajectory of the global Ambedkar movement. I just also want to add that as we build the future of the movement, we should not lose sight of the rich history of the movement internationally. So in 1994, for instance, there was the first international Dalit conference held in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, at which Tan Sri Ram Sahib was present and gave a speech. There are older histories, of course, of the international of the movement. So I would urge all of us to read on these histories, to tell these untold stories, to think about how to build these bridges across different forms of difference, it was just said in the earlier comments, and to continue that project.
Thank you, Vaaradhi. Yeah, so building coalition, building different association, and I think which you all experience, I can give you a best example that when we won Seattle, and I say the victory of Seattle was not possible just with ourselves. It was so much support of all our fellow beings from the black community, the white community, Jewish community. We had the great support of our Dalit Sikh people, Ramdasya Sikh people, and we had so many other communities coming together, and that's what made these things possible. So this is what we want to remember that. And this statue today is also part of that solidarity, that each one of them from different organizations and different ethnicities are coming together here and celebrating this. So, and if I remind our history, that it is all started by Dr. Ambedkar, because that how he started his alliance. He started his alliance through W.B. Du Bois and the whole black movement and all the professors that you have seen in his list. And that is what was making Ambedkar a global movement. I want to come back to that what makes it global. But let me also hear a little bit from our guest, a new member, Pareen Samani, Professor Pareen Samani. She has been doing amazing work in the area of human rights and especially on women's rights and women's issues. So, Pareen, how do you link your work with the issues of Dalits in India or around the world?
First of all, I would like to say, Jai Bhim. आपको सबको हमारा good morning to each and everyone. I would like to say a big thank you to Narendra ji, Gaurav ji, Gautam ji, and Rakul ji who have connected me to this group of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. It's my privilege and my honor to be with you all.
Let's give her a big hand.
Thank you.
So just a quick announcement. There is a SUV Part 7751 blue color that needs to be removed. Can you please, whoever it is, can you do that for me? Oh, sorry, please. Go back.
It's my privilege to be with all of you today. And when I'm looking at all this crowd here, that's even giving me more inspiration that I am a newcomer, yes, but since I know about the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he has got so much knowledge which I was not aware of myself. I have not done a PhD like you guys have done about it, but I can tell you that my inspirational guru was Aga Khan, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the Mother Teresa, and now Dr. Ambedkar has given me inspiration that I'm writing a book on him. I'm a researcher and I have written 19 books, and I think this is something which has given me a new way of looking at it. Say, yes, I have learned so much from him since I have met the community of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. That has given me new hope in the field of education. You're absolutely right. My work so much resonates with Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in the field of education, in the field of women empowerment and youth development. About the injustice and equality about the women, which I have been fighting and been working on it for more than 35 decades. However, I have to say that to you, I have traveled more than 117 countries around the world. And in that one, my main motto is that I want to help the society. But I will not help the society on my own. I need people like you who can support me. So the inspiration work, the humanity work that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is doing, that helps me to motivate others and to inspire others. There are a lot of things we can talk about it, but I think we don't have much time, so we will make it cut it short. But I would say that trust me, we are here to learn. Each and everybody sitting down here are beautiful. Your soul is beautiful. You have a power to change the world. You have a power to inspire the society. That's why you guys have all come far away, just like me. I have come from London. I'm sure each and everybody who is here has made a remarkable, important time to come to this international event today, to the unveiling of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Pareen. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Thank you. So I'm going back to Jeremy now. Jeremy, you pointed out one very interesting through his research. He looks at the Indian struggle of Dalits is kind of maybe objectively different than the US struggle. What are the differences do you find? Can you lay that out?
Thank you. Sorry, my voice is just not really. I apologize. Yeah, I want to go back to actually shift your question a little bit more and go back to the idea of solidarity. That solidarity between the number of the speakers have talked about. I start to see that happening in the Valley movement here, or the anti-corruption movement here in North America. But here I don't see that. And I'd like to see that. So much of what I was doing in the full plate that I was on at Symbiosis was trying to bring together people from higher caste communities with lower caste communities to have that dialogue. There's a real dialogue happening between these communities. I'll take students from Symbiosis to the Arista Center, from the TVSG, and other places, the Ambedkar Museum, at the SP Road campus, which is not the campus I was on, to have dialogues with Ambedkar scholars and students. And their experience of the Symbiosis students are predominantly high caste is so different from the experience of your community. We're trying to put those two together to understand each other's experience. I think is really important to helping build that solidarity. So that's one difference I see in the U.S. versus the Indian kind of social movements around Ambedkarism. And I'd like to see more of that collaboration, dialogue, solidarity building happening back in home.
Great, thank you. Then now you see there is one important thing we highlighted, so the voice is not coming through. So very important thing about our movement that in India, Germany is finding that we don't have that solidarity that we have here. And so this is our duty now, because we are privileged here. We are the privileged class here. We have to help our people and bring solidarity in India, and that's the only way to do it. Now, Chastity, how can we build this solidarity in India? You've been working there.
Thank you, Tara. So from what I saw, so my research looked at 4 different field sites, 2 in UP and 2 in southern India, in Telangana and Andhra. And those are just sort of samples, and now I'm sort of broadening that study with the more all India data to try to figure out so what's happening and what can we do and what role can we play. So what I see is our strength here, as Gaurav said, is that we have people from all over India who are part of this movement here. So if we build a strong community here, if we make those connections here, then whatever we come up with, either if it's aid, or if it's idea generation, or if it's some way to, reach back out and scholarships, different programs, whatever we come up with here, we can then use the fact that we come from all across India to help build a all across India type of coalition in India, right? So each of us has connections to our home state, our home language. I speak Telugu. I'm not great at Hindi, but I know many of you are. Many of you are great at Marathi, Bengali, Punjabi, all these different languages. I think if we come up with ideas here and originate a plan of action here, we can use the fact that we have a strong, multilingual, broader Indian community here to make a more multilingual, broader Ambedkar movement in India. So I think that is key, and I think that's what we need to work toward.
Thank you, Sakshi. So we have only 2 minutes left. Let me also see how, I'm saying that, it's कहते हैं हिंदी में प्रेम बरस रहे हैं आज तो आज तो but you see how beautiful it is that we are unveiling his statue and his rain is pouring down and it's all so emotional. It reminds me, those who have not read, if you ever want to read the very interesting thing about Ambedkar's personal life, the last book which he could not publish called Waiting for a Visa. If you read that story, very tiny, very brief story, and there he's saying that he had all the food when he's traveling with his family, and all the way he's going to meet with his father, meeting his father, with his mother and his brother. They had all the sumptuous meal with them, but there was no water given to them, And today we are experiencing this, that how, and let me also cite with this story event, 1927, 28th March, when Ambedkar led the Mahan Satyagraha for the right of water. I'm just reading one line, what Baba Sahib said. He said, and that's a message to us. He said, it is not that as if drinking the waters of the Chavdar lake will make us immortal. We have survived well enough all these days without drinking it. We are not going to the Chavdar lake merely to drink its water. We are going to the lake to assert that we too are human beings like others. It must be clear that this meeting has been called to set up the norm of equality. And now, 100 years later, we are inaugurating his statue of equality. And that I give you all the best wishes and all the very best. Namo Buddhaya Jai Bhim, and we will see you again. And it's a struggle. It's not the movement just of Ambedkar's history. It's a whole history from Buddha to Kabir, Sant Raidas, Baba Nanak, and Ambedkar, Sant Gadagir, and all those people that you can think of around us. This is the movement of hope. And I want that 10 years down the line, when if the AIC, this statue should be as popular, it should be part of our legacy, that as people go to Diksha Bhumi Nagpur, people would come here to visit, see the statue. So this is it. So thank you all, everyone. That's the time of the round of applause. Thank you very much. It was great.
Hey guys, live for about 3 hours.
Well, please, if you don't have controls, please select us. Yeah, and then we're walking also, please take the The ground is slippery. So make sure you put your foot
ये ना AIC को official इसको live करके
carefully, please.
can you help me इसको पढ़ के रखना we may talk
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your feed.
Once again, I would like to reiterate that soon after unveiling of the statue, which will go on, we are going to continue the program in Grace's Event Center. And that is at 4045 Renner Road, London, Maryland. After unveiling of the event, we will move over to Grace's Event Center at 4045 Renner Road, London, Maryland. All of you, if you have not collected your ponchos, please collect your ponchos. And once we decide on the Grace's Hall, not here. And also, again, this is a repeat of the announcement. The vehicle with the number 7751 that has been parked in private property, please remove it or move it before it gets towed. Whoever this vehicle is, the vehicle color is blue, I guess. The number of the vehicle is 77 in the private property before it gets towed.
कितने नेक्स्ट प्रोग्राम कितना रख रहा है?
तो ग्रेस वाला जी
कितना पूरा?
महाराज जी
At this time, I would like to request everyone to with your ponchos on and your umbrella, please assemble in front of the statue. And at this point, I would like to invite
एक सेकंड है आपके पास
Ram Kumar ji.
हाँ so ये बताओ इसको वीडियो को दस Oh, it's already connected actually. Do we need to have the speaker like unveiling करके है? So you can
Get your umbrella and ponchos and move over in front of the statue, please.
so you keep it here somewhere. Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Entire group is listening. Alrighty.
I'll keep announcing. Please assemble in front of the statue. The unveiling ceremony is about to begin. Get your umbrellas. It's very easy. Be careful.
As you can see, it's raining. The weather it's raining, it's cold outside, but our spirits are warm. We're going to be here at the inauguration. Excuse me, this is official.